Does Congress think the Pentagon is lying about UFOs? Well, let's talk about that and a whole lot more, so get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe and let me know what you think in the comments below. Okay, from Merrick von Rennenkamp from the Hill. Key senators believe the Pentagon's UFO office is lying. Key members of Congress delivered an astounding rebuke to the Pentagon's UFO Analysis Office last week, doubling down on whistleblower allegations of secret U.S. government UFO programs. Rumors of surreptitious UFO retrieval and reverse engineering efforts have circulated for decades, buoyed recently by extraordinary congressional interest in legislation, as well as remarkable whistleblower testimony. In March, AARO, the Pentagon's UFO program, released a 63-page report categorically denying the existence of such activities. The lovely Dr. Shankar Patrick, AARO's former director, amplified the report's findings in a series of combative opinion pieces and interviews. But congressional legislation formally introduced last week represents a remarkable rebuke of AARO and Kirkpatrick's emphatic denials. Notably, the Intelligence Authorization Act for fiscal year 2025 would cut off funding for any activity involving UFOs, protected under any form of special access or restricted access limitations that has not been reported to Congress, as required by law. In other words, despite AARO's sweeping denials of secret, unreported UFO activities, the Senate Intelligence Committee believes that such programs do indeed exist. I love it. I love it. This is an awesome article. I'll let you read the full thing at your leisure. But Merrick von Rennenkamp cranking up the heat on the UFO cover-up and highlighting that Congresspeople, or at least certain people in Congress, are getting wise to the fact that they are being lied to by the powers that be in the Pentagon, that there is indeed a UFO cover-up. There is a suppression of information on this, suppression of this information. And they are trying to not only choke off the funding for the UFO control group, but also to launch an audit to expose the corruption in the cover-up itself. Could we actually see some connective threads between AARO and the Pentagon and whatever other powers that be that exist? Could we see the strings between the puppets, like Sean Kirkpatrick and the puppet masters? I know, I'm dreaming. They are probably way too savvy to ever let that be exposed, but who knows? At the very least, Congress is now acting. We have multiple pieces of legislation going forward right now. Who knows if they will ever get signed into law? But the fact is that we have multiple pieces of legislation involving UFOs currently working their way through Congress right now. Congress is active. They are engaged in the UFO topic, at least to a certain extent. Obviously, there are Congresspeople that are standing in their way. So will the pro-disclosure faction gain enough steam to steamroll the anti-disclosure people? Well, time will tell, but at least Congress is finally getting active. They're getting galvanized, and they are seeing the lies that are being told to them. Love it. Okay, moving on. Jason Sands news from Stephen Diener. Some news to share, Stephen says. I spoke with Jason Sands over the weekend in what turned out to be one of the most wide-ranging and fascinating discussions of my life. This was a private conversation, and I was asked to keep almost all of it that way except for one piece. Jason posed the question, what is disclosure? What are we truly to get out of it, and what should be the next steps? What should the end game be? And Jason Sands actually responded. He says, wow, some of the responses are great. I'll have to think about how everyone thinks about disclosure. To me, it's not just one thing. There are multiple types of disclosure. And of course, there's multiple types of disclosure. I think that, in a way, we don't even need the government to provide any sort of disclosure. We can all just go out and, do CE5 and, sing Kumbaya. And I only say that half jokingly and, interact with the phenomenon, or at least the positive parts of the phenomenon. But in reality, the control group has been doing some shady stuff low these many years, and it needs oversight. They are engaged in programs likely helping beings abduct people. They may be doing stuff in space. We don't know what all they're doing and what, alien or non-human powers they might be allied with. And who are they shooting at? Are they shooting at good guys? Are they shooting at bad guys? Yeah, they clearly need oversight. So to me, that's what disclosure would entail. But let me know what you think disclosure would entail in the comments below. Either way, good to see Jason Sands still on the radar, still making comments, still engaged. So I can't wait to see what he does next. Meanwhile, is this a video of an alien at Skinwalker Ranch? I'm trying to track down the source of this video. I don't know where this is coming from, but this is being circulated online as taking place at Skinwalker Ranch. That doesn't really look like any of the homesteads that I'm familiar with, so I don't really think this is Skinwalker Ranch. But this is a story that is going around, and I thought I would share it with you. Possible alien activity. You can see that little guy going across the screen at somewhere that may or may not be Skinwalker Ranch. But let me know what you think about this video. I have asked for the source of this video, and if I find it, I will put it in the description below. Meanwhile, a few days ago, Chris Mellon gave the keynote speech for Japan's UAP caucus. Commenting, in the U.S., Congress has taken action and the number of reports of UAP has increased dramatically. I hope that from the perspective of science and national security, UAPs will become more of an interest than a threat. I have high hopes for Japan's UFO Parliamentary League. So is that what we're calling it now? It's not the UAP caucus, it's the UFO Parliamentary League. Okay, I kind of like that. But yeah, either way, Chris Mellon spurring Japan on in their efforts for UAP understanding and maybe even disclosure. Meanwhile, what is the connection between Reiki and UFOs? Mike Cleland, a UFO researcher, experiencer, and author, is saying there is a connection between Reiki and UFOs. So let's give a listen.
Here's one pattern I'm seeing. When I talk to, so oftentimes I'll talk to people on the phone. I spend a lot of hours every week talking to people on the phone about their owl and UFO experiences. And it's like I'm not clinging to the owl and UFO thing. Sometimes it's just an owl story. Sometimes it's just a UFO story. Sometimes it's just someone's mystical experience. And I would consider a UFO sighting a mystical experience in the truest sense of the word. So someone has had an owl and UFO experience. I have this thing. I just got paper. I take a single piece of paper. I write the date in one corner. I write their phone number on them. I talk to them. I put their name on it. We talk. And then I let them tell their story. I make some notes, not many usually. Enough so that if they call me back later, I can refer back to the piece of paper and remember their account. But I do write. I take my pen, and off in the corner I write Reiki, and I just wait. And then at some point they say, like, I say, what are you doing? What's going on in your life? And they say, oh, I just got my level 3 Reiki master certificate. I'm like, okay. And or they'll say, oh, I'm a working Reiki master. Or if they don't say that, they say, well, I work at this office and I'm doing this kind of form of hands-on energy healing. And so that's not 100% of the people I talked with. I have struggled with this number. I'm going to say it's over 50% of the people who have had owl and UFO experiences who contact me are either working professionally or just as a side thing as a Reiki therapist doing Reiki healing work. It's over 50%.
That's crazy. A connection between Reiki and UFOs. I do Reiki myself. I'm a Reiki master. Actually, I'm one level above a Reiki master. I'm a Karuna master, but don't think that's fancy. There's 3 levels above that. I've had my own UFO experience or experiences. Are they connected? I definitely think in my case they were connected. I think that once I begun Reiki class, I took a 1.5 year long course on Reiki. We met every week for 3.5 hours once a week. And it was really great. It was really great. And the experiences that I had already begun having when I started Reiki really increased dramatically. My metaphysical experiences and even my UFO experience, which was, as he says, more of a mystical experience, yeah, it really increased when I was doing Reiki. I think that, you know, raised my vibes, you know, who knows, maybe connected me to the chi, you know, all that kind of stuff. Maybe allowed for greater contact. But there's also the idea, well, not even an idea, but many Reiki practitioners, when they're doing Reiki, this hands-on healing, they will see beings coming in to assist in the healing. And I have one friend who says he believes that Arcturians are involved. This fifth dimensional race of being that you know, have, you know, good intentions for humanity, and they are assisting us in interacting with chi, the force, for healing. And they develop these protocols, the Reiki protocols, so that we could interact with this energy and learn to heal ourselves. So you want to call those aliens? You know, I don't know what to call them. Mystical beings, higher dimensional beings that may have a hand in Reiki, and they may have their own spaceships. Yeah, you might call them UFO beings. Anyway, just one idea that's out there: connection between Reiki and aliens, or at least non-humans. But I think this is really fascinating that Mike Clellan, in his research, is seeing over 50% of people that are having these UFO and owl experiences. And of course, we all know UFOs and owls go together, and also owls go with mystical experiences as well. Over 50% Reiki practitioners. That's wild, guys. That's wild. I had to bring it to you. Meanwhile, this story is making the rounds on social media. This little guy may or may not be an alien. And a lot of people think that, hey, maybe this is proof. This is a video of a being. You know, is it? Is it not? I don't know. It says China here, and then it's I think it's a Mexican publication, but I don't think that's what we're looking at. To me, this looks a lot like the work of Erwin Saunders. Of course, that's not his real name, but that's what he goes by on YouTube. And he has a great channel. As you can see, I'm a subscriber of it. It's a lot of fun. He just has a really good vibes, but it's not real. You just watch it for entertainment, and because it's got really good vibes. The dude really knows what he's doing as far as putting out a congenial show with, you know, magical, congenial, laid-back show. And he has lots of video of these fairies. That's what he does. He goes out in the woods and he, you know, sees fairies and interacts with them and gets them on video. I mean, that's the format, right? It was really just CGI. But, you know, people just kind of go with the fiction, and, you know, he never admits to, you know, faking it or anything. He's totally in character as Erwin Saunders, but that's not his real name. And I love it. I mean, it's a lot of fun. And, you know, if you want a laid back, magical, you know, time of hunting fairies, or, you know, not hunting them, but, you know, researching fairies and trying to find them, you know, go check out Erwin's channel. It's good stuff. But I think that video is probably something like that. Meanwhile, Jimmy Corsetti is saying the World Economic Forum is blocking research into Gobekli Tepe. Now, you know, who knows, this, you know, people tend to get political with this kind of stuff. And I'm not going to go in a political direction. Whatever you feel about the World Economic Forum, that's you know, up to you. But it is concerning if they are blocking research into Gobekli Tepe. And that's what Jimmy Corsetti's research is finding. The World Economic Forum has infiltrated the world's oldest, largest, and most mysterious ancient structure. Gobekli Tepe will not be fully excavated. More than 100 T-pillars that contain answers to our lost past will remain underground indefinitely. Why on earth is the World Economic Forum in charge of Gobekli Tepe? And he has a video where Jimmy goes into a lot more details about the connections between the World Economic Forum and Gobekli Tepe. And, you know, based on what his research is finding, that seems to be the case, that maybe they are blocking this research and the excavation. But, you know, who knows? That could just be Jimmy. Maybe somebody else would reach a different interpretation. Either way, it looks like they are not going, the people studying Gobekli Tepe don't intend to fully excavate it at the moment. They may be leaving the rest of it or the bulk of it for future generations, which I think is really too bad. But okay, you know, so but moving on from that, I just had one more thing to say about Gobekli Tepe that I don't think not enough people are talking about. You know, we look at Gobekli Tepe as a one-off. That seems to be how scientists and researchers, archaeologists kind of look at Gobekli Tepe as an isolated event. You know, maybe where civilization started low those many years ago. But I just, you know, here's my thought. Here's my thought for what it's worth. The reason we know about Gobekli Tepe is because it was buried. It was preserved. So, we don't know why it was buried. We don't know why it was preserved. But it was. How many other sites around the world that might be that old, you know, 10,000 years old or whatever, how many other sites around the world with this scale of, you know, engineering may have been created that weren't preserved? I mean, that's a possibility, right? You know, they weren't buried, they weren't preserved, and they are just gone now, lost to the sands of time, literally. I think that's possible. I mean, it's also possible that Gobekli Tepe is indeed the source of civilization, or, you know, after Atlantis fell and all that kind of stuff, that some survivors came to this area and taught people how to restart society. Totally possible. Maybe that's the way it went down. Maybe they went to other places too. And maybe those places are lost to time, but Gobekli Tepe isn't. Anyway, just throwing that thought out there, guys. Let me know what you think about that, and also let me know what you think about the World Economic Forum potentially halting a study of Gobekli Tepe. Last but not least, did you know spiders like to be petted? Spiders like to be petted. Check it out. Bro is officially a dog, right? I love it. He's just going in. He just wants some attention. He just wants some attention. Probably wants like a spider treat now. I think that's awesome. Check it out, guys. Oh, yeah, let me know what you think about this spider getting attention and everything else covered today in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I'd sure appreciate it. Smash the like button, the subscribe button, and the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media, Facebook and Twitter, links below. Love to see you guys there. I'm going to try to insert a Discord link below. There's always a Discord link below. It expires after 1 week, and I usually forget, to put in the new link, but I will try to put in the new link this time. So yeah, get it while it's hot, guys. I love the fact that the Discord community is growing, so be sure to check that out and remind me when those links go bad to put in a new link. I would appreciate it. So yeah, go do all that. And if you wanted to support Cosmic Road in a bigger way, consider grabbing a coffee mug or a t-shirt in the merch store below. That helps a lot. Or become a channel member. Channel members are rock stars, and I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you so much. Also, channel members do frequently get to see videos hours ahead of everybody else. Meanwhile, there are plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.